Good evening. Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Lawrence City Council. Today, Tuesday, February 17, 2026, is about 7:10 p.m. Pursuant to the Charter of 20 of the Acts 2022, this meeting will be hybrid, allowing participation both in person in the city chamber and remotely. This is live through the Zoom link that many people already received. Also, you can see the meeting through Facebook and YouTube. Roll call, please.
Councilor Gonzalez.
Present.
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 Am I going yes.
Councilor LaPlante.
Present.
Councilor Vice President Analiti.
Present.
And Councilor President Giovanni noted as absent.
So let's stand for a moment of silence, please. So let's do the Pledge of Alliance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hi, Councilor. There is no minute to approve today. So I got the list for the public participation. The first one is Mr. Malik.
Lucky 53 Chester Street. Good evening, honorable members. We the citizens are proud to support Lawrence Police Officers Union. Lawrence Police, this union of pride and honor with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Chief Maurice Aguilar doing excellent job. Jagat Lawrence Police, thank you for protecting our citizens. Thank you for doing the best job in the days of the crisis. Lawrence Police, one of the best police departments in the nation. We are proud of you. In the worst blizzard of the 2026, million thanks to our DPW working tirelessly. DPW workers and the leadership, thank you for keeping Lawrence a beautiful city. Lawrence Inspection Department employees, thank you for excellent job. We must hire more inspector. Lawrence Public School with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Superintendent Ralph Guerrero moving forward. We the citizens are grateful to Honorable Director Wu for helping our public school. Lawrence teachers, thank you for excellent job. We support your union. Lawrence teachers, because of you, Lawrence will rise again. Lawrence always is strong. Lawrence always unite. We the citizens are proud to support our veterans. Thank you for excellent job. Thank you for your sacrifices. We must fight two new positions in a veterans department. We must create the best commission for elders. Lawrence, one city under God. We pray for the safety of all police officers and the first responder. We are proud of our firefighters. Lawrence Fire Department with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Chief Delaney doing the best job, the best fire department in the nation. Lawrence Police Department, a shining superstar in the sky of Lawrence. Thank you.
Thank you. So just a little remember that you have to say your name and address for the record. You have 2.5 minutes and that you will hear the bell at the 1 minute. And please do not address any individual councilor. Address the vice president of the council as a whole.
My name is Jeffrey
So the
Petrillo.
next person is Mr. Jeffrey Petrillo.
My name is Jeffrey Petrillo. I live at 341D South Broadway.
As of the present, there's a lot called Lot Number 18 that's between ourselves and A&M Auto Body Shop at 341 South Broadway. For 78 years, it was a non-buildable lot. Former councilors Quattroni, Frechette, Abdul all know it wasn't a buildable lot, and so doesn't the current clerk, Eileen Bernal, knows that it wasn't a buildable lot. Sometime around April of 2018, the Title 12 rules were not followed to change it without notifying us, anybody, as to the major abutters who would be affected. Measures have already been put in place for decades to protect our distance of privacy that we have between our home and A&M Auto Body at 341 South Broadway. The body shop was built in 1937 to 1939, meaning it's not coded as explosion-proof. Under state fire and safety laws, the minimum distance that they can operate as a body shop goes from the zoning law of 29-2320, paragraph number 2, from 100 feet to 200 feet, as told to us by Fire Chief Delaney. The lot that is currently under agreement is this vacant middle lot, known as Lot Number 18. It's only 50 feet wide. It is and has been a non-buildable lot for 78 years when somebody changed it illegally in April of 2018 without following Title 12 procedures. They just did it without notifying us and without a zoning board meeting. This is illegal and against numerous city and state zoning laws, particularly 29-11 and 29-23, paragraph number 2, which states, no garage can operate within 100 feet of a residential zone lot on the same block. Because the auto body shop does not qualify for this. It makes 29-23, paragraph number 2, to 200 feet minimum space to the nearest residential lot. This lot has been a troubled lot for over 30 years. If the owner of lot number 18 gets a special variance permit, which, by the way, no special variance permit is eligible for this lot, we intend on going to the state. And this message goes to the mayor and everybody else. Thank you.
The next person for the public hearing is Yamile Diaz.
Good evening, councilors. I'm Jamile, owner of Best Price Towing, located at 27 Winter Street. I'd like to address some statements to ensure the public record is accurate. It was stated here 2 weeks ago that at one point last year, there were 5 towing companies handling snow removal. In 2025, there were only 3, Sheehan's, Cody's, and Best Price Towing. Accuracy matters, especially when discussing public contracts. It was also said that the administration attempted to bring back said companies, but many no longer do snow removal. I want the record to reflect clearly, Best Price Towing was never contacted by the Lawrence Police Department for the superstorm. We were ready, willing, and capable, but we were never called. During last year's public safety meeting regarding snow removal and private trespass towing, it was confirmed by Lawrence Police Department that our company followed every ordinance and exceeded expectations. Despite that confirmation, our snow removal contract was still canceled. However, I have not forgotten that what we've proven. The first year, we were given just 5 streets and expected to only tow 25 vehicles. We impounded 77 in one night, shocking those who mocked us. Every vehicle was accounted for, undamaged, and released on time. But this is bigger than snow removal. I reviewed 471 bids in the city's online system, which could only date back to 2018. None for the police contract. So I asked our grandfathered towing companies. This contract hasn't been up for bid for public since 1998. While neighboring cities hold public bids every 2 or 5 years. Nearly 3 decades and only 2 companies hold the contract, when in the early 90s, the city was smaller and there were 7 companies in rotation. Today, with a larger population and greater demand, there are only 2. And I ask myself, what's the holdup? The mayor smiles, showing pride when he says he supports small Hispanic-owned businesses. I'm the only female Hispanic-owned towing business in Lawrence. I follow the law and surpass the standards, and I have proven that in this chamber. Yet the doors to the city's contracts remain closed for people like me. All I'm asking tonight is simple: transparency, equal opportunity, and public bidding for the police contract that has been unavailable to the public since '98. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person is Richard Russell.
Good evening, councilors. Rich Russell, 34 Cross Street. I don't know whose idea it was to hire a woman last week and put her in charge of snow removal. I will say this: she did a better job of snow removal from the streets of Lawrence and all of those little landscaped snow-sized snowplows that the city hired. The woman's name, Mother Nature. And while I'm on a snow removal rant, will somebody please tell the mayor that the residents really don't care to see videos about snow removal on Essex Street? The residents would rather see actual snow removal from the streets of the residential areas of North and South Lawrence. I, for one, don't give a damn if Essex Street is plowed back to the curb. How does that benefit those that are relegated to parking on the streets at night? It doesn't. Regarding agenda item 5526, I would suggest informing the LPD about the City of Lawrence's Code of Ordinances, Title 10, Chapter 10.36.010, and Chapter 10.36220 for various parking restrictions in place on Cross Street between Broad and Manchester Street. I realize that the LPD is understaffed and is at times busy making wellness checks on various individuals critical of our political hierarchy. Last week, I filed a public record request requiring the amount of money the city will make from the snow emergency violation parking tickets, and how that money will be spent, and what areas was the ticketing most aggressive. Well, I received that public record request in the email before I left to come down here tonight, and I haven't had a chance to actually go through it. I wish that the city would budget money for snow removal in a more proactive manner than its normal reactive manner. Finally, I find it a disgrace as a lifelong New Englander that individuals that know nothing about New England snowstorms are making crucial decisions about snow removal. I conclude by saying I will go home and in my spare time I will write a song dedicated to Lawrence and their snow problem. The title's going to be, I Got the Blue Light Blues. Is that a catchy title? Thank you, as always, for allowing me to plow you under with these various snow issues.
Thank you. We have somebody online, but he haven't answered if he's coming for the public hearing. So I have no more people for public hearing. Public hearing is closed now. So let's continue with the agenda. There is no public hearing, so there are some matters pending for public hearing, that nothing that we have to do at this moment. We don't have a communication from mayor or any city official or the city attorney. No? Okay. So, committee report. So, Budget and Finance Committee, we have item 626. That is from the SEIU, the Local 3 Clerical Union Collective Bargain Agreement, CBA. It's a transfer for $83,504 from the General Fund and Enterprise Funds account to various salary funds. Madam Chair, the Budget and Finance.
Thank you. Through you, Council Vice President. Item 6-26, SEIU Local 3 Clerical Union Collective Bargaining, better known as CBA, transfer an amount of $83,504 from general funds to a general fund and enterprise fund accounts to various salary funds to fund the CBA. Was sent up as a committee report, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
Motion is already made and already second. Any comments from the council or from anyone from the public?
Is there a second?
Yes,
Okay.
it's already
Okay, so
second. Yes.
discussion.
Okay. Discussion.
Council Vice President, so during the Budget and Finance Committee, there was some debate between traffic control and the jurisdiction of traffic control employees, whether it falls under DPW or the police. There seems to be some back and forth. We did ask the CAFL to provide information, further information on what the what the result is. I believe we asked for the directors to be here as well, and I don't see them here, but through you, Vice President, if we may hear from the CAFL.
Good evening, councilors. Ramona Sabalos, CAFO. I did send the council a report that I was able to review with the director of the parking, the department head, and it explained what the difference is in terms of operations and administration for the that department, and how it can be misunderstood as to where they report and so forth. I just want to make sure you did receive my email.
Check.
So it was sent maybe 2 weeks ago. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I would like, if I could, Vice President, I would like to read the explanation so that we all understand and the public understands where we stand with traffic control, if I may.
You have?
Okay, so we have the email from our CAFO that was sent Thursday, January 29th at 2:37 p.m. And it says the following. Hi, David. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me this morning to talk about traffic control operation. Please see below and let me know if this is a good summary or if I need to change anything, which you sent it to us, you forwarded it to us, so.
Right, so I forwarded to you his agreement. He
his-
says awesome job exactly is what I said, and if they need any more information, please feel free to reach out. So that was me sending it to him before I sent it to the council, and he agreed that that's what we had discussed.
Okay, so this is what it says. This is the overview. I met with the parking director, David Rodriguez, regarding the questions raised at last night's Budget and Finance Committee meeting, and I'm writing to provide clarification on the role, structure, and oversight of the traffic control officers. Traffic control officers are budgeted under the Lawrence Parking Division and consist of 6 officers assigned across 3 shifts with 2 officers per shift. The shift runs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., and 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. These schedules intentionally mirror the Lawrence Police Department shift to ensure operational alignment and coordination. At the start of each shift, traffic control officers report to Police Department roll call to receive assignments, share information, and align expectations for the shift, including alerts related to stolen vehicles or ongoing incidents. The primary responsibility of traffic control officers is parking and traffic enforcement, with ticketing limited in certain downtown areas where PCI is responsible. Police officers retain the authority to issue citations and tickets, with traffic control officers are limited to issuing parking tickets only. Traffic control officers operate under the dual reporting structure. Operationally, they report to the Lawrence Police Department for shift coordination and enforcement-related activities. They may assist at accidents, fires, tree service calls, and other enforcement situations, such as abandoned or double-parked vehicles, Police officers can also notify traffic control officers of active incidents requiring support. Administratively, and for personnel matters, traffic control officers report to the parking director, David Rodriguez. The parking director reviews and approves time off requests, oversees and verifies timesheets for accuracy, ensures ticketing equipment is functional and up to date, and serves as the primary point of contact for staffing and personnel concerns. DPW/parking provides supervisionary oversight to ensure officers are ticketing and documenting properly, and that the expectation of both the police department and the parking division are being met. Thank you.
Very welcome.
I believe, I'm gonna, if I may, Vice President, I'm gonna look at my colleagues on the Budget and Finance. From what I remember from the discussion, this was the concern that we have. Does that satisfy the Budget Committee's concern at this time?
So yes, I was aware of the email, I did read it, and it answered the questions. I'm not sure, that was the whole purpose of submitting it as a committee report. So just would like to see, due to the fact that it's open for discussion for other counselors who are not part of the Budget and Finance Committee, or any other members from the Budget and Finance Committee who have any other concerns, despite receiving this information, this is the opportunity for us to discuss it.
I asked that you move the question. Just a committee report, correct? Yes. I asked that you move the question. I asked that you move the question. I asked you to take a vote. I asked that you take a vote on the question. I am asking for a vote on the question.
Motion to approve
You already have a
item.
motion on the floor. I'm asking for a vote
There's a
now.
motion already
Yes.
to submit it as a committee report. Could we-
Yes, I'm asking for a vote. Let's take a vote.
So motion to approve?
Aye.
Has to go through a vote as a committee report.
Motion to approve the, there's been a motion properly seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd like to make a motion that we approve the document.
Discussion.
So, Council,
Thank you, through you, Council Vice President. Since the discussions pertaining union contracts, and also we have the non-union, the COLA in front of us as well, since that meeting Monday night, I've been pulled aside various times by union employees stating that the treatment's completely different from their point of view. They reiterated what I said from their point of view, but I'm saying what I said because I also see it. How when we're doing contract negotiations for union employees, there's always the sentiment of, or the feedback, the statement that we don't have money. But when it comes to non-union employees, it's a whole different story. I just want to put that out there because I know we have the COLA coming up, but that proves to me that I'm not the only one seeing this or feeling this. I'm not going to say seeing it because I'm not there, but I'm not the only one that has that same impression. And I just want to put that buzz in your ear, and we can have further discussions afterwards.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Do I have the floor? I'm so sorry. Okay. If memory serves me right, because it's so many contracts, this is where it's administrators and non-administrators are part of the same, are in the same chart. That's the code. So this is not the item? Okay.
This
thank
is
you.
just for the clerical union.
Okay, thank you.
any other comments?
I asked
So,
that you-
okay,
I
go
asked that
ahead.
you- I asked that you move the question, Madam Chair.
Okay, go ahead.
I am asking for a vote. I'm asking that you move the question.
Two.
Every in favor?
All in favor?
All right, so I just waited to find out if nobody have any more questioning here. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any no? So the vote is already passed. Thank you.
Council Vice President,
Okay.
if I may, I do agree with you. I did notice both times you were asking if there were any further questions before moving the question along. Just want to make sure that my colleagues just consider that. But if you see also that no one has questions, let's move the question along
Okay,
to
all right.
my colleague's point.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is item 2726. Madam Chair from the budget.
The next item, item 27-26, authorization to expend $13,900 for the SFY 2026 Commonwealth Project Safe Neighborhood Initiative with the Massachusetts State Police was sent up as a favorable recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
So motion is already second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. So the next item, any
We have discussion.
any discussion?
All right, next item is item 38-26, SEIU Local 3 Library Union Collective Bargaining Agreement was sent up as a committee report, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Discussion.
So discussion?
Through you, Council Vice President. I'm going to look at my colleagues here. I don't 100% remember as to why we sent this as a committee report. As you know, we had an emergency today, so my brain is a little fogged. Oh, now I understand. Yes, there's no need for a vote. Yes, this was put on the agenda as an informative item. But CAFO, if I may, through you, Council Vice President, can you just explain to the public as to why there's no vote required for this?
Yes. Again, this is the union, Library Union Collective Bargaining Agreement, Local 888. An additional appropriation is not required as the negotiated incremental costs and collective bargaining contract oversight will be funded through the current budget and existing vacancies within the library. So whatever amount of money it's needed to fund the contract, it's available within the library budget, so that's why we don't need an additional appropriation.
Discussion?
Discussion?
And just one more point, Madam Chair, just the, as a reminder, we do not vote on the contracts. We don't, I mean, oftentimes we'll dig into the contracts, we'll find questions regarding it, but as a body, our jurisdiction is not ratifying the contract. That is between the bargaining agreement between the union and the administration, and that's where that is. What we do as a legislative body, when there's money required to fill the money to pay for the contract, that's when we come in. In this particular case, that money's already, it's self-funded. They already have money in their budget. We don't need to go ahead. So as we go through all of these union proposals, two of them have a requirement for us to give money. This one doesn't.
That's
So,
correct.
thank you, Madam Chair.
So any comments from the council or?
I'd like to make a motion to withdraw this document since it doesn't require a need of the council for a vote.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So the ayes have any none? Thank you. So the next item, we're gonna go to Housing Committee. So Madam Chair from the Housing Committee, please.
Through you, Madam Vice President, the Housing Committee met on item 48325, the surplus declaration, 4,907 square foot parcel of land at rear of 47 Hamlet Street. This was, it decided to submit as a committee report to the full council, and I submit that to you as a form of a motion.
So motion
Discussion.
is already second. All those in favor? Discussion?
discussion. Just to add a little context in regards to this item at the subcommittee meeting, slightly contentious in regards to what the criterias are in regards to the yard sale policies. One of the discussions that was brought up by the council president in retrospect of what the policies are in place for yard sale was if they're able to build ADU units. So if we could have the city attorney, if we could have, I believe, Director McCarthy, I'm not
Yeah, he's
sure
online.
if he's here today as well.
He's online.
Oh,
He's
he's
online.
online. Okay. So if they're able to come before us to provide a little bit of more details and context in regards to what was some of the reservations that some of the counselors had at that meeting, and that way we could potentially have some sort of outcome for tonight.
Okay. Tim Hooton, City Attorney. Just so you're aware, at the time that we developed the yard sale provision, there was no such thing as an ADU. So if you want a direct answer, what did we envision? We didn't. Never even heard of them, so we would not have put it in. So the yard sale provides that if you have an abutting property, you're allowed to buy that property if it's of a certain size, non-buildable size. And unfortunately, people got caught up on the word structures. What you cannot build is a house on there. What you can build are structures. You can build a pool house. You can build a pool. You can build a tennis court if properly zoned. You can build a shed. You can build a garage. You can build anything you want on it. What it says is, though, you can't use it as a house. Now, if that land adds to your land and allows you enough room that you by right can build a house, you can build a house. But the property itself, one of the conditions is that that's not the buildable unit. You can't build on that. So everybody there was a lot of back and forth because people kept saying the word structure and people assumed houses and it wasn't referring to that. As far as ADUs, that's a state law. That has completely different. That has nothing to do with yard sales. Anybody with any piece of property, if you qualify, you can put your ADU in it. This does not allow nor restrict it. It's just not part of it. It's just, that's based on your land. So there's people with garages, basements, attics, room in the past. If they fall under the ADU, that's a separate law. It has nothing to do with the yard sale.
Council Vice President.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, through you. Now you just confuse. I follow. I understand what you're saying. Let me start off with that. I understand what you're saying, but now I'm a bit confused. This isn't my district, so obviously we have an ADU being built on Mount Vernon Street that was not following proper protocol, and I actually contacted the building commissioner to, let's figure this out because we need to follow the AUD rules. So I want to make sure that rules are being followed, but I'm confused. So I want to know from the housing committee, what was discussed? Is there a purpose as to, I know the homeowner is here and I know her very well. She keeps me on my toes as her city councilor, so I appreciate that. And I know how she is when it comes to rules and regulations. But was it discussed as to what she's looking to do? I know whether the chair or maybe the homeowner can answer this. Just give a little bit more context so I can know, at least for this, my own vote, can have a better idea.
Sure.
Please say your name and address.
Name it.
Oh, sorry. Kelly Staniszewski, 47 Hamlet Street, Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Thank you.
Good evening, councilors. So I'm not quite sure what I wanted to do. I do either want to do an addition or a garage, and I do have the land to do it in the garage, but I don't want to go to an architect and say, do this, just in case he needed a foot or 2 feet or something, you know what I mean? Best position it and to look nice for the neighborhood. I'm sure sometimes you drive by and you'll be like, how did that house happen? Or how did this happen? So I wanted to kind of fit in with the neighborhood. I was trying to do this before Mount Auburn. You guys passed that. And I was always told, wait till Mount Auburn goes through. And I'm like, I'm a different person, a different property. Why do I have to wait? Mount Auburn went through in November of 2024. I went back and I did watch the Housing Committee in September, and then I also watched the full city council meeting for that Mount Auburn property, which is kind of the same as mine. On that, this came out, from the mayor in October, and it was mentioned in those meetings, so you guys were aware of the ADU. When it went to full council, there was 9 yeses, which, when I was listening to the vote, I was very surprised, because I know somebody, but it was all 9 approved that Mount Auburn house. And getting to Mount Auburn, there's road access to it. This is actually behind my house. So I feel like, if anything, mine's kind of landlocked. The Mount Auburn, somebody could drive right there to the home. And I might not even use the property for any building. We might just add on to our house. I don't know, because I want to tell them, like, hey, I need a bathroom, you know what I mean? So I don't know what I'm doing. And I did want to come to you before I paid money out of my pocket, but I was told I can't just come in front of you guys and say, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. I needed to present something, so I had to pay somebody money in order to do that. And all through the city, I do see things going up, like you said. I'm in that area. I try to keep an eye out, and through the whole city. And I see things happening all the time, and I feel like I've been waiting for 2 years to do it legally and right, so it concerns me. Even 9 Beacon, they have a house, they had a garage with people living in the garage, and then there's a small they just built a brand new house. There's already no parking there. So we have the area for parking, and that's what I'm looking to do. I don't know, but I wanted the land.
Thank you.
Does that answer your questions, or?
Somewhat, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Council?
I think I'm just trying to get a better understanding of the discussion. I unfortunately did not, I should have watched it. I did not watch the Housing Committee meeting to prepare for this. But I heard from the city attorney, I believe that was was that the only main concern, Chair?
It
If I
was,
could, Vice President.
it was, but considering that the property owner, as she's mentioned, she's unsure, and she would like to hire like an architect to like give her some sort of like overview of potential ideas as to what would work. I'm wondering, through the city attorney and Director McCarthy, if this passes, what mechanisms does the city have in place to ensure that, whatever future plans that the property owner has, through the sale, through the city sale of this land, that rules are being followed, or that whatever it's being built, it is according to the yard sale that we have in place?
Well, the yard sale conditions are contained in the deed. So there are certain conditions, some of them require you to do landscaping, some of them require you to do let me see, I have them right here. Okay, the property you purchased through yard sale may be used for parking, green space, or accessory use of the primary residence. Construction of any kind, except for those allowed for accessory use, is prohibited. They have to merge the properties together. They have to do a deed within 30 days so that it becomes one lot. It doesn't become 2 separate lots. They must clean and landscape the property within 60 days. They're going to provide a landscape plan. And they must submit, if appropriate, a stormwater management. So this really wouldn't apply to the stormwater management because, as she has stated, this is in the rear of her property, and it goes to, I wouldn't say granite, but like a granite wall. So it's not flowing onto the city. It wouldn't flow onto any, it would go back that way. So I don't believe that they would require that. But that puts that on there, and it makes sure that she has to record the deed, merging the property within a certain amount of time. We look at it. As far as buildings, now, that's the building inspector. That has nothing to do with the yard sale, property, whatever. It's much the same as tomorrow if she wanted to build a garage. She has to follow the rules that are in the building code and everything like that. You know, just because people do things in Lawrence doesn't mean that we let them do it. A lot of people build out garages that are illegal, you know. A lot of people build apartments that are illegal. A lot of people put things. It's the job of the inspectional services and the building department to find those and necessary tell people to take them down.
So there is no mechanism that we have in place. It's a matter of us having to
It's
reach
the
out
D-
to ISD. No, but I'm saying, okay, so a year from now, she decides to want to build.
Correct.
Whatever the build is, I don't know. It could be a pool, garage, as you mentioned.
Right.
A year later, she makes the decision to plan this out. It is beholden to us to reach out to ISD.
No, it's beholden to her. Before she can build a pool, before she can build a shed, she has to submit plans, and it has to have the proper setbacks, it has to be the proper height, it has to be a lot, like, you know, you could, I always like making crazy things. She couldn't build a 200-foot tall, high garage. You know, it would have to be, there would have to be plans, there's height limits, there's width limits, there's, you know, those are contained in our building codes. So in order for her to get a permit, she would have to apply for that.
Point of clarification, if I may, Council Vice President.
Okay,
I think,
So-
sorry.
go ahead.
Thank you, Council Vice President. I think this might help a little bit. To your, long story short, yes. I don't believe there is a process in place to find violations. I can give you an example again because it's happening right now, the Mount Vernon Street situation. I live on that street. I see it every day. There was something, I'm like, this seems a little funny. I couldn't pinpoint what it was. A constituent called me, made a concern about it, and then pinpointed what I was missing. So when I called the IC director, or reached out to the IC director, and then him and the building commissioner went to the scene, not to the scene, but to the residence to check it out. The building commissioner came back to me and mentioned, well, counselor, this plan was submitted with just one parking garage, but when you pass by that construction, there are 3 massive, like commercial-sized garage openings that were not approved. So now they're trying to figure that out. You know, obviously a violation was set and all of that, but we don't know if they're going to follow the rules. And sometimes it does take for us or constituents or whatever to make it known, for us to make it known to ISD. I don't know if they're working on something, but also even if they did have a system in place, that still doesn't guarantee that the resident, the homeowner or the construction, or whoever it is that's building these constructions or whatever, it doesn't guarantee that they're gonna follow what the city tells them or what our rules say. So I know it doesn't answer your question, but that is a real life.
It answers it, so there is, but there isn't mechanisms is pretty much the gist of what I'm being told.
If somebody follows the rules, there is something, but if people choose not to follow the rules, then
Which is why it's beholden on us to then, you know, for
no
those
matter
that
what,
aren't.
no matter what you do, there are people that are not going to follow the rules. No matter what you approve, what you ever put in there, I could, you know, tell people to do something, and the next day they do the exact opposite. It's enforcement at that point. You make them tear it down, you make them tear it up, you make them remove it.
I mean, my lasting remarks is I respect every counselors, especially a district counselor, if they have any opinions regarding an item that's within their district. I haven't heard anything to which would make me not approve this, so I'll respect the district counselor's opinion and decision on how to move with this item.
So any other comments or any other question? So
If I may, I'll just
what
add
is the motion?
one comment, motion to approve. We accepted the committee.
Yeah, we accept as a committee.
So motion to approve.
Motion is approved, already second, all those in favor?
Discussion.
Discussion?
This is the motion to approve the committee report, right?
We already
No, we-
approved the committee report.
We've already approved the committee report?
Yes.
I don't think we have.
No, we haven't.
Councilor Marlowe made the motion to accept the committee report, was seconded by Selena, and then it was.
Discussion, okay.
Yeah, so accept the committee report.
So motion to,
As a committee report,
okay, so all those in favor now?
Aye.
Any no? So the motion, okay, so now the motion is to approve.
Counselor.
Motion
A
to approve.
discussion?
Made the motion, Counselor Reyes seconded, and yes, discussion. Thank you, Council Vice President. My last comment pertaining to this item is, and thank you, Council Marmo, for your comments. As I mentioned, I have worked with Kelly a lot, and she is one of the first people to point out when there may be something wrong, or when there may be some contradiction within our laws or anything like that. So I am confident that her and her family will follow city law and ordinances and zoning, which is why I have no problem voting in favor of this item.
Councilor Laplan?
Thank you. This is one of the first times that I can recall that we're actually dealing with a property that has a ADU compact. I realized there was some discussion by the petitioner this evening that says there was something else going on last year or 2 years ago. I don't recall the details behind that. But just the point that folks can take a look and say, you've already voted in favor of stuff like that, has an impact. Not only does it have an impact in a certain district, it has an impact citywide. Because once we start saying, yeah, it's okay for us to do something, others are going to say, well, if you can do it there, I want to do it here. And so this is the first time that I can recall that we're having as much of a debate or a discussion as it relates to ADU, specifically as it relates to an ADU as with respect to the yard sale program. I've got concerns. I've said my concerns to the Housing Committee, and my concerns, and it's one of the most, I'm going to try to find the right verb here. One of the laws, most recent laws that have really strongly negatively impacted our city is the accessory dwelling unit law. It is what has happened with that law is we have at one point we carefully designed zoning laws throughout the city, but over the course of time those have been watered down a little bit. But we want to have a single family R1s, we want to have R2s with 2 families, R3s, and there was a time where that was what we had throughout the city. We wanted to make sure that we wanted to have a different feel for different neighborhoods. With the ADU law, for those of us who represent single family areas, this is causing havoc because you're essentially stripping away what was formerly an R1 and making something an R2. So when you move into a neighborhood and say, I just want to live in a place where there's single families, that's what I want to live in, and now the state, throughout the entire Commonwealth, has decided that they're going to allow communities, allow individuals in the community to go ahead and make what would essentially be an R1 into an R2. And there's very little, if anything, that we can do at this point because it's a state law that allows us to go forward. So now what does all this mean on this little yard sale property where the petitioner has already said, I'm not sure if it was, I think she said it before the Housing Committee, my desire, and she changed it a little bit tonight, I think she wasn't sure what she wants to do. We know that she wants to build an ADU, if not on this property, on her own private property she currently owns. And the concern that I have is, what I don't want to do is, I respect our city. I don't want to see us go down this road. Every time we start chipping a little bit at it, just chipping a little bit more, before you know, we're going to have the issues that we have throughout the city, whether it be parking issues, whether it be apartment issues, no matter what we are. We just chip a little bit, and the integrity of what we have is diminished. So, in the normal circumstances where we don't have unlawful apartments throughout the city, where we're managing our growth, maybe ADUs would work and they would work well, and maybe in the scenario that's painted before us about this property owner potentially in an R1, maybe it would work, but not in our city in 2026. It will not work. So I'm in a very difficult position on my vote this evening, because if I vote yes in favor of this, I'm kind of saying, yeah, I know it's a yard sale, and they can put a garage there or swimming pool, whatever. but they're not committed to doing that. The petitioner at any point, any petitioner can say, I changed my mind. I'm going to be I want to put something for a family member or whatever. I want to sell it or whatever it is. I want to do something with a housing unit. So that's the concern that I'm facing at this point. So it's a tough vote because the vote that we take tonight will cascade into further votes down the road. And so I'm probably not going to be supporting that this evening for those reasons. Not because I don't want to see the petitioner do well or have a quality of life. We all want to see that, and private property rights are paramount in our country. I get all that, but we also have to consider the impacts of growth in our city, and that's what this vote to me is about.
Council Vice President.
Through you, okay.
Thank you. I agree with you. My colleague from District F, Councilor LaPlante, I believe you and I've mentioned this before, you and I, especially you, have been vocal about the domino effect of housing and
Parking.
parking and all of that. When it comes, and I'm going to add on to your comment, but when it comes to housing situations, yes, it affects the entire city of Lawrence. I also believe, though, in addition to that, the city of Lawrence, every part of the city of Lawrence is different. Like there may be a proposal to put housing where the bridge was, where the fire was, and we saw just how horrible traffic was with just that one delay or that one situation. Imagine putting 200 units or whatever. So I also believe it depends on the area of the city of Lawrence. What I'm hearing from the petitioner, from Kelly, it sounds like she may be interested in extending her house or putting her garage. But to your point, yes, the person has a liberty of changing that. At this point, I'm not feeling that. There is the space there in that area, which makes me a little bit more comfortable. But I do think when it pertains to housing and what we allow as a city, every area of the city is different. There's different traffic patterns, there's different amounts of people. And that's really, that should be the center of the decision making when we're thinking about development or ADUs or et cetera, when it comes to the growth of the city. But yes, regardless of how we handle it, overall, eventually, it does impact the city as a whole, and I agree with you with that, Councilor.
Madam Vice President, if I may, I don't want to clog this area. ADUs is completely separate from what's before you, but the senior advisor would like to talk to you about the ADUs for a second, if you wish to
Yes,
speak to them.
we have Mr. McCarty over here, please.
I'm talking about senior advisor.
Oh, the senior advisor, because I have Mr. McCarty waiting online too.
No, you can let,
Senior, okay,
yeah,
no.
I'll give the opportunity to Mr. McCarthy, but I just wanted to take one brief moment to caution the city council. Octavian Spanner, senior advisor to the mayor, because this is not only to the applicant, but it's also our responsibility as city staff in making sure that when we have an applicant coming or is bidding, that we don't send out mixed messages. The law is the law. State law is state law. Whether it's going to be seen as a sabotage, to my understanding, tonight the applicant came and the applicant is not sure what they're going to do. So to speculate what an individual is going to do and to prevent them the right, I think that is a fine line. It's a very dangerous precedent for someone to for you to make a decision based on speculation. The other part is that if we have staff members dealing with the public, we need to make sure that we don't misinform an applicant based on your decision tonight. That we need to make sure that when we give an advice to our recommendation, if someone wants to apply for, let's say, a property similar to this, that we give them the right information. So based on your vote tonight, then we need to know legally, how is it that we are going to approach? Are we going to tell an applicant in the future, don't apply because they're not, the chances are that they are not going to be approved? Or is it is their right, based on state law, if they apply for a property, then tomorrow they want to have an ADU. So I just want to caution that. And also, if your decision goes into negative, we need to know as staff members exactly what we're going to tell other people, other applicants. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also have another comment too.
Yes.
Well, I had one other thing to say, only because of the Mount Auburn. The Mount Auburn was the same situation about a year ago. And Frank Cirillo was up here. And he said it was gonna be a direct disposition to allow the abutter to expand. And it said eventually on that section, he was gonna see if other neighbors wanted the land and to purchase it. So he's saying that to you guys there. And they also said that they wanted a house for the mother, like a separate house. So I did re-watch the meeting. On the November 7th meeting, Counselor LaPlante mentioned the ADU because that was already in the works for January 1st. So that was already coming to you guys. And all 9 of you approved. And I'm not saying I'm gonna be living in my house for the rest of my life, you know, I'm not moving. I want it to be a nice area too. I think I have enough land as it is now, and it would just be better if I needed a foot, 2 foot, or something different, and I don't even know if that's what I want. After this, I said, I don't even know how I feel about it. Maybe I just want to put an in-ground pool in or something. I honestly don't know. I need to find out costs and what I want to do. But a house is small right now, you know, for the amount of people, and also the Frost School. I love the Frost, I love the kids, but my street is completely blocked in the afternoon. I can't even get to my house. They try to work well, but I have been in front of you guys many a times. So I would like a garage in the back because I would like to get the cars off the street and get them back, you know, get them behind my house. But nothing's definite now, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to let you know, my house is no different than your yes vote, you know what I mean, on Mount Auburn. And I did go back and watch, you know, so.
I have Daniel McCarthy in here, so I don't,
No, we just.
okay. Mr. McCarthy? Mr. McCarthy?
Good evening.
Good evening.
A little under the weather, been ill for a couple days, so,
Yeah.
but I'm here to, get answer any questions you have. I did, raise my hand earlier, thinking that, to make one comment on this, this whole discussion about the ADU aspect of this, I know is a different element, but when Kelly approached our department looking to see if she could acquire the land, weren't even talking about the ADU. That came up, like she said, in the last couple of years, but she approached us before this all happened to seek this, with interest in this property through the yard sale process. And I had this discussion at the committee with Council President Giovanni about what the conditions were. And the conditions are that the property, that she'll acquire this property, it'll become part of her yard, part of her primary residence, and it'll remain so. And she'll have all the rights that anybody else has on utilizing their yard. And that was always with the conditions that you could put a shed in, or you could put a tennis court in, you could put a pool in, you could put a garage in, you could put any kind of building that we call accessory. I think the only conditions that changed in the last 2 years is the state's now made a new adaptation to that idea about what accessory buildings are. And now they've added this accessory dwelling unit, which is not a separate house that could be sold or a new property, but it's a part of the primary residence, and it's another apartment. I don't totally agree with the state law, but it is what the law of the land, it's the law of the state, and it is in effect. And again, Kelly approached us about acquiring this extra land behind her house, which has no other use to anybody else except for Kelly. And in my department, the school department, none of us saw any problem with this. And I think she should have all the rights that any other property owner in the city would have in utilizing the yard. So that's, those are my comments.
Thank you, Mr. McCarthy. So, Council Member?
I'll be brief. I just want to state for the record that none of us counselors were making assumptions or speculations regarding the line of questioning that we were asking. We're going off of how the property owner answered the question when asked what were her plans. There were moments where she sounds undecided, and there were moments where she would mention potential ideas. And based on how she answered, the ADU did come into question because she did, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misspeaking, you did mention potentially you moving, you mentioned probably the kids living at the current property, and then whatever the build is, but that's where you would potentially reside. So that opened up the questions that it's leading to the discussions that we're having. So by all means, we're not making any speculations, and we're trying to make decisions that is going to cause a domino effect on other potential properties that may come before us regarding the yard sale policies. I have a question because to Councilor LaPlante's point, I also agree with his concerns. We all share the same concerns. And the major difference, I'm a big fan of ADUs. I think ADUs alleviates the challenges that not only this city, it's an issue statewide with the housing crisis that we're having and with the influx of people coming into the city. So I'm a big fan of ADUs, but I think where this issue, and I don't want to call it an issue, but why we're continuously talking about this item is because it's city-owned property, what you're trying to buy. So could Mr. McCarthy please remind us for the record as to how much the square footage would the property owner be purchasing this lot for?
Mr. McCarthy? Mr. McCarthy, are you there?
Yeah, they're asking you a question.
Say that again?
Mr. McCarthy, are you still there?
It's $1 a square foot.
Yeah, yes. Can you hear me?
It's already been answered, Mr. McCarthy. Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
And being that
McCarthy.
it's $1 square foot is why we are debating this, because again, it is opening up a potential can of worms when we have future applicants that are buying a portion of city-owned property. Could you answer the current policies that we have in place? Does it have any exclusions? Because if it doesn't, then I feel like until we don't, that's probably a potential future discussion. If we feel that we need to add exclusions, we're here debating, but I'm saying this should be like a potential further discussion at a later point in time. If there is no exclusions to the conversation that we're having right now, then it's hard to say, it's hard to say no to something when we don't have something in place where it's saying that they are not allowed to do X, Y, and Z. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Okay, let me just explain, and I'm going to do it in kind of base terms. Yard sale, what it is these are junk properties. These are properties that nobody wants. They're properties that are landlocked. There are properties that are abandoned. There are properties that can't be built on, and they just happen to be next to a neighbor who says, geez, I would like a rose garden. I could use that property. I could park 2 cars on that property. If the property is of a certain size that the city it's now buildable, we're not yard selling it. We would request that we put it out for bid, see and get the most money. That's the object is to make these non-tax paying properties, meaning that if the city owns it, we don't get taxes on it to try to get some tax benefit. At the same time, benefit some of the neighbors who just might like more land because land is tight here. So that's the restriction is, at some point, if the land is nice enough, it's not yard sale. It becomes, and as you see this one is, you have a street, you have all houses, then you have this strip running behind everybody. And there's no access to the property. It's too small for the city to use, it's too small, and it's, the topography is, and again, I'm not an expert, but I believe it's all granite and rock in there, so that's the restriction. It's more the restriction on, once you get to a certain size and once you get to a certain value, it's no longer yard sale.
Council Vice President.
Okay, Council.
Thank you. Since Mount Auburn keeps getting mentioned, I just want to provide some clarification because that's also in my district. When Mount Auburn came before the city council and it was going through the housing committee, that item was tabled for a while. And it was primarily because of me asking all the same type of questions we're asking tonight. Was what I was asking back then, and ultimately we ended up getting the answers, and ultimately it passed. I do want to emphasize, though, especially to Senior Advisor Spanner. Well, first, I want to ask you, do you remember when you were looking for community members to serve for the community committee for the LRA, that I said to you, I'm sending you someone from District E that's, she's tough. She's going to ask the questions, and that is Kelly. That was Kelly. So like I mentioned, I know she follows the rules. However, there is, and I agree, there is a worry how we as a city ensure that whatever ADU plans or whatever the case may be is presented to the city, is approved, that homeowners or property owners are following those rules. Because again, we're seeing it happen right now with the construction on Mount Vernon Street. I think that's something to take back to the mayor and to the directors. I don't know if they already periodically check out projects and construction to ensure people are following what was approved. And if they're not doing that already, we should do that. And hopefully we can get some type of process in place to just ensure that people are following what they should be following.
Yeah. Sorry, through you, Vice Chair.
Thank you.
There was a period in which the city, all cities, and I think maybe fortunate, in some communities are unfortunate, like the city of Lawrence, even though we do have the need, because we differ in an opinion, but we didn't have a chance to discuss all these challenges that we're going to have because of the state law. And I think Mr. McCarthy said it well. Now we are confused. Now, based on the questions that you have, how are we going to deal with it? This was not a debate. This was not going to go back and forth. Remember how I started? I cautioned the city council because we deal with the public. They come before you, but we cannot send mixed messages. What we can do, maybe when these ADUs, when we going to reevaluate ADUs in the several communities, we can say, well, to the state, these are the situations that we have encountered. Parking, we have. Some other communities doesn't have issues with parking. And it's going to continue to be a problem in Lawrence until we come up with sound solutions. And part of it is also situation like these. We didn't predict that we were going to have a situation like this. But it is, and once again, it was not to admonish or criticize the city council. I'm cautioned that what we are going to tell, what Dan McCarthy is going to say as from a planning director when someone would like to apply, or what is the message that we're going to give. That's all.
Right, but Advisor Spanner, my comment is to go back to the administration, and if we don't have a process to make sure that the plans that individuals are presenting to the city of what the construction is, that we come up with something that we are somewhat, to an extent, monitoring, to making sure that, all right, they are building what it was that they presented to the city, because to your point, it's a state law. It's a state law, we
Right.
have that right?
And-
But are they doing what they presented to us? is the
And you
question.
have cases that came before, not long ago, within less than 2 years, in which you have people that have received land, and they came before you for the use, for one use, and they changed it. And we observing that as well. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So we cannot, as staff members, as from the executive branch, have employees misguide or give the wrong information. Because otherwise, we're gonna open a can of worm, and we have to check all the decision that has been previously made, while having the ADU law passed. So that's my concern, on behalf of the administration.
Thank you. So, Councilor Blanc?
Thank you.
Yeah, there is a motion to approve and it's already second. So, Councilor Blanc?
Thanks. So, thank you, Madam Chair. So this conversation's requiring me to reevaluate the yard sale program. And so and I realize what's before us right here is a small parcel and a small part of the city dealing with one individual. But I think we all know, it's more than just that. Yes, the vote tonight is on one thing, but the vote tonight also goes beyond that. So I need to reevaluate, and as I'm thinking about this more deeply, I'm thinking about what the special advisor said, Mr. Spanner said, and I think he's right. We need to figure out what we're doing on here, and it's a hard place. So where I'm leaning today, what's today's date? February 17th, 2026. Where I'm leaning today is this. I'm leaning today that if I get a yard sale in an R1, because that's where the ADUs are predominant, that's going to be, for me, a place where I'm saying, I'm leaning against it. I'm going to be strong leaning against it. If it's a yard sale in a 2 or 3 R2, R3 area where the ADUs cannot be there, then I'm probably more amenable to saying, okay, yeah, and 2 or 3, you're not going to be building another structure. Because what my concern is, and thank you, my colleague from South Lawrence, is I do have a concern with the number of cars. How difficult was it to get here tonight, for example?
my goodness.
How difficult has it been during the snow emergencies that we've been facing? How many schools have we had to build, and they're telling us that's not enough space for our students today? How many more? And when I say chipping away, ones and twos. And the LRA has got lots of things on the docket that they want to get through, a very ambitious agenda, and they're looking to create a lot of housing. And I think tonight we might be doing more housing tonight, potentially. So I think that's where I'm leaning on this, and I realize it's a state law, and we can't do anything to change a state law. I may be putting a resolution before this council to send something to our legislators saying what the impact is to our city and asking them as a legislature to revisit these issues. In cities like Lawrence, we cannot be dealt with in Lawrence like they can do in Northampton or somewhere in Newton or Andover. At the Lowells, the Lawrences, the Holyoaks, we're different. Wait a second, you're standing up. Did I say something wrong?
Yes. I just want to correct you on one thing.
Okay.
ADUs go everywhere.
Yes. Oh, wait a second.
You
Explain.
said
Yes.
if it's a 2 or a 3, an ADU is not going there. If it's 2 and a 3, the garage is being an ADU, the attic is being an ADU, the cellar is being ADU. So when a 2 and a 3 comes behind you, don't say, I'm not doing a yard sale because they can't do an ADU. They can do an ADU.
Well, that's the name of the accessory dwelling unit, not a car parking unit. It's a dwelling unit. And so when they say dwelling unit, it needs to be habitable. You need to have a structure where somebody can live. So if you're just building a garage for
You
a
have
car,
You have
for a car,
door, and you make it habitable, you can make it an ADU.
but when you do make it habitable, that's where I believe the change is. When the legislature and the governor sign this into law.
Again, my only point was
well,
2 and 3,
Okay.
4 families can have ADUs. So when you said 2 and 3 come before me, they can't get an ADU, they can get it.
I think, through all due respect, Attorney, I think that that's arguable, because when the law was first originally written, it was directed toward R1s. I think the law, if you look at the language of the law, I think that's where it was. I think there are some, and I'm not saying they're wrong, I think there are some that are extrapolating and going beyond that to R2s and R3s. But anyway, the long and the short of it is, I can tell you right now, R1s for sure. What you're telling me right now is like keep the door open for R2s and R3s. I think that's what I'm hearing. So anyway, long and the short of it. And finally, Madam Chair, in the ordinance committee now, currently, there is an item before the ordinance committee that I put on there a couple years ago dealing with the ADUs, wanting to bring the ISD director back to let us know how many applications, how many permits. I would invite the ordinance committee to take advantage of that document within the committee and find out what the update is on how many more units where is the growth? And we'll see if it's an R2s and R3s as opposed to just R1s. We'll see how that's playing out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Plum. Did you remember the number of that item?
I'm really smart, I'm not that.
Okay, thank you. So, but I'm gonna look for that item. Thank you so much. So right now we have a motion to approve and already second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any none? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilor Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilor Miguel,
Yes.
Councilor Roma,
Yes.
Councilor Infante,
Yes.
Councilor De Rosario noted as absent, Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Plan.
No.
Oh, so, no, sorry. So,
I'm missing.
one no. Oh, and, sorry, Vice President Anali.
Yes.
So, 2 absent, 4, 6. Motion carries 6.
So motion carry. Thank you so much. So council, let's continue with the housing committee. So we have item 2826. So, Council Marmon.
Item 2826, declaration of surplus property, 15A Boston Street, map 73, lot 2-1, under the Home Equity Protection Act. This was discussed in the Housing Committee meeting and was submitted to the full council. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
2826. With the favorable recommendation. I submit that to you in the form of a motion.
So, it's already second
Discussion.
discussion.
Let me see, there were items, obviously, given the discussion that we had at the housing meeting, there were certain pieces of information that the committee had requested, to which I believe was received today. Correct, for both, obviously, we're not there because we split the items in half. I received that email today. I want to make sure that all the members receive that email. But I just wanted to state for the record, given the fact that I received these items today, I have a preference of when receiving information to at least minimum 24 hours in order for me to review those documents before making decisions.
Council,
I already submitted as a form of a motion.
Your formal motion, so all those in favor? Motion to,
I would like to make a motion to table.
Councilor Infante, may I make a request? I am here for the limited purpose of informing you what notice we gave the homeowners. if I could possibly put that on the record right now, I wouldn't have to come back.
Okay. Discussion.
So,
But before, sorry.
well, that was submitted as a formal motion. Okay, so,
But I also would like to
Let me
read
withdraw
this.
that motion.
okay, so motion is already withdrawn.
No, my
Madam Chair,
motion.
My motion is.
Which
withdrawn.
one, okay, so we
I
are.
withdraw the motion to table so that we
Okay,
can go into
motion-
discussion
okay.
for
Discussion.
city attorney.
The underlying motion was to approve.
The underlying-
That's the only thing.
And I had requested to,
Thank you.
As a
and I
favor.
requested to withdraw my
To-
motion.
Okay. So now we need a motion.
Motion to discuss.
I like to make a motion to approve the document and that there will be a table later, but I
Yeah.
have a
Motion
motion
to
right now.
discuss. Motion to discuss this document.
Motion to approve.
Oh, okay, so already second, so now discussion.
Second.
When we were at the committee meeting, and rightly so, one of the concerns of the committee is, and again, I hate to insert my opinion, but the ridiculousness of the fact that this house is worth $240,000 and we're going to be taking it for about $10,000. But if somebody ignores paying their taxes, they ignore paying their taxes. So the committee said, well, what notice have you given them? We really want to provide what notice you're giving. So I'm going to go into it. In 2020, we called her and emailed her, requested a payoff. She returned to us and said she would pay it. In March of 2020, we emailed her with a breakdown. In September 2020, we emailed her again. She now wanted a different payoff. In 2020, we emailed her back. In 2024, she called back again, so there was a period of 4 years. She never contacted us, saying she's much in a better place. Can we give her another payoff? We gave her a payoff. That's true for all parties. At the same time, she hasn't paid the taxes since 2020. Every year, she gets 4 tax bills directed to her, all of which say, you are in tax deficit. Please contact us to pay your bill. Not only does she not pay the current tax bill, she doesn't pay the rear tax bill. She has 30 days from the due date. We inform her of the due date. We inform her of the fact that there is interest being added. Once we filed this, she was served by the court with a citation in 2024, 25, February 25, May of 25, September of 25, October of 25, October of 25, and March of 26. In addition, my office has sent directly at least 3 letters informing her, because again, we don't want to take the property, we want her to pay her taxes, of her to pay it. She has ignored all those notices. So far from not being a notice, I would say there's almost 40 notices that has been sent to the homeowner, just telling her, please pay your taxes, please contact us, make arrangement to pay your taxes, or do something, all of which we sent here today have no response. And in addition, it was also published in the paper. So I just want to get that off. That's as far as I go. You can table. As far as tabling it, let me just say one more thing. We are already out of compliance on this property. This property judgment was declared in October. It's a new procedure, as you understand. The city council is supposed to make a recommendation within 30 days of whether to keep the property or sell the property. You can do the simple math. October, we're well over that period. So you're tabling it. Normally, if we were close, I would tell you, please don't table because you're in violation of the statute, but we're in violation of the statute anyways.
Thank you.
Council Vice President.
I would like,
Council
oh,
Vivian?
I'm sorry.
Through you, I appreciate you going through the details. However, there were several things that were requested. And my biggest frustration, and honestly is a pet peeve of mine, is to receive information the same day that we're having a meeting. And despite the importance, like I get certain items are super important, there's deadlines, but nobody's gonna put pressure on me to make a decision to approve anything because
I'm not suggesting
no,
that.
I know. I'm speaking out loud. I'm speaking out loud, and I'm not trying to imply that. But and which is why I'm saying I understand there's gonna be certain items where we're gonna have to have some discretion, and we'll have to make decisions on the spot. But there were certain things that were requested, and then based on the information that you provide, it may lead to other questions. So like, because of that, it's like, I don't feel comfortable, or sometimes I feel like this pressure of having to make decisions in a favorable recommendation that I am not comfortable, you know what I mean? Like and I just wanted to state, you know, and again, thank you, Charlene, for all your hard work. I understand it's not easy. As counselors, every counselor has their needs, and we all have different perspectives on how we see certain items. So I may request one thing, and then another counselor is asking you something completely different, and it's going to require different things to satisfy the line of questions. But just for the record, you know, these were the Housing Committee requests of information. It was RFPs of all the, it's attached to the email, and it is attached to this memo of all the RFPs that were submitted for this property, for this item and the next item, because obviously it's divided in two. All the methods of contact, which is not attached, like, I know you said it was over 40, but
And I'm happy, again, with this.
the method with, you know, so the dates, whether it was via letter, whether it was a phone call.
I understand.
So again, I'm not seeing how those methods of contact, before we're making a decision that as a city, we're taking over.
I understand. And-
So I'm not seeing the methods of contact,
Right.
I'm not seeing that. And then the real estate task force process of recommendation, so excluding that. But, you know, this is information, again, that as I'm receiving it, it may lead to other questions, and
I
I don't,
understand.
and that I'm being robbed of an opportunity of asking those questions once I approve it.
Okay, and I'm more than happy, since this matter is being tabled, of putting everything in writing that I just said to you today. Unfortunately for me, I am not the attorney that does the tax takings, nor has that information, and that was provided to me this afternoon at 3 o'clock. So you're getting as fresh as I'm getting
I understand.
those dates, and again, that was the only task that was assigned to me. I understand that you have many more things that you don't feel you've gotten. I was just trying to just give you my perspective. If you say, Tim, I want you to come back next meeting, even though you submit this, I'm happy to do it with the council.
Okay.
So practically you got the information at the same time that we already have it. So, and we are requesting at least 48 hours just to get the information that we asked at the
I agree
labor
with you.
of the
believe me.
committee.
We don't work
Councilor
full-time here.
Councilor Fonte has burned that into my head many times.
Thank you. Motion to table item 28-26.
Second.
So motion to table already second, no discussion on motion to table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any none? The ayes have it. So item 2926, declaration of the surplus of 15B Boston Street. So practically, it's the
Madam
second part
Vice
of the.
President, I make a motion to table item 29-26 as well.
Second.
It's the same thing.
So already, okay, motion to table, item 2926, no discussion on motion to table. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Any none? The ayes have it.
Thank you very much, councilors.
Thank you.
Thank you, Selene. So, ordinance committee, we have, item 18525. Council?
Through you, Council Vice President, we did have two items from the Ordinance Committee. We have items 185-25, handicap parking 136 on 136 Davis Street, and we was sent up to withdraw, and I make this as a formal motion.
Second.
So, motion to withdraw item 18526, a handicap parking on 136 Davis Street by Council Vice President and Sarah Rodriguez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So any none? The ayes have it. Item 3426.
Yes, item 3426, to remove handicap parking signage at 3 Courier Street. It was sent up to order a public hearing, and I make this as formal motion.
Second.
So item 3426, remove a handicap parking, that is the sign, the handicap parking that is going to be removed, no?
Yes, the signage, yes.
Okay, so already second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? So, any none? The ayes have it. Thank you, Council. So the next, Personnel Committee, item 4026, Council Infante.
Thank you. Personnel Committee, we have one item, item 40-26, the confirmation to appoint Adonis Rodriguez Ramirez to the Lawrence Redevelopment Authority, and we sent it up with as a favorable recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion. Wait, was it a committee report?
That was a committee report.
Sorry. I believe it was a committee report. Hold on just one second. I'm trying to find the document, but I don't see it here. It's a committee report.
That's a
Sorry,
committee
my
report.
apologies. As I withdraw my favorable recommendation motion, and I will like to fix it and say we sent it up as a committee report, and I make that as a formal motion.
So the item, it was made as a committee report, and the motion by Council Infante, already second by
Council Reyes.
Council Reyes.
Discussion?
Discussion.
Discussion?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Through you, Council Vice President. The committee wanted to hear from, thank you. The committee wanted to hear, well, first we had questions regarding membership in the LRA right now, what's going on with the LRA. Pretty sure there's is a 2-year membership for each boards, but we just wanted that confirmation. And secondly, we just didn't have any representation from the mayor's office or the LRA in support of this nomination. Through you, Vice President.
Yeah. Vice President Levy, through you, during the Personnel Committee, I think it's Councilor Infante, as the chair, have requested, I saw it via video, I was present, but I was not online to do that. I called the HR director to inform her. Once again, I apologize for that, but you folks know here that that's not my habit unless there's a pressing issue or there's a personal issue that I need to attend. But based on your request, Committee Chair Infante, Councilor, you requested also the chair to be here. I can briefly state that the mayor submitted the name of Mr. Adonis Ramirez to be nominated tonight. It went through the committee. And concerning the status of different board members, we were waiting because there was an election season. It didn't make any sense at that time, and we made the recommendation to the mayor not to appoint any additional person until the results of the election. Now that he's been rehired, and I think that's the best way to proceed, to have new board members, or in this case, we have one vacancy, and also the remaining members that also need to be confirmed. But we will discuss that during our LRA meeting, board meeting tomorrow. But
So that was, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So that was one of the questions, how many vacancies? So there's one currently that if he is confirmed, he'll be resuming.
yes.
That's correct.
Correct. So I would, just as a brief introduction to the whole body, Mr. Adonis Ramirez is well-known in the community. He's been very active in recent years. I could say during the 4 years in the beginning, we didn't know each other, or basically we haven't worked, but Mr. Ramirez has been very an advocate for the different improvements within the downtown area in terms of policing, public safety related issues, and also how we can revitalize our downtown. In fact, recently, as he informed the committee, he has purchased another business within the downtown area. And during the course of in recent years, 2 or 3 years, we have been discussing, based on his particular interests, what changes we can, see within not only the business district, but within the boundaries.
What do you
of
mean
the-
by his particular interest? Because we're talking about a quasi-governmental board. It's not about one individual interest. It's about what's better for the overall city.
No, that's correct. That's what I meant. And sorry for misunderstanding, but let's make it clear. We're talking about the redevelopment authority.
Right.
And the urban renewal plan that has been approved since 2016.
Right, but again, it's for the benefit. That plan was approved and that committee was developed for the benefit of the overall community. So I just want to make sure that the community, the city of Lawrence as a whole, is a primary focus, not individuals or not particular individual groups. We're doing this work for the betterment of the city of Lawrence.
I think you misunderstood what I said. And
Might have. I
I'm
might
going to
I might have.
Madam Chair, let me
I might have.
clarify. Any individual within the community has the right to express their vision for the community. We are not going to curtail, at least from the mayor's office or the executive branch, we're not going to do that. If someone comes in as a volunteer or wants to work within the community, it's obvious that they're going to express. And that's not what I intended to convey tonight, that was his interest to advocate for, because he's a business person. And obviously, the boundaries of the urban renewal plan covers most of the downtown area.
Right.
Either ways, I think he's a very outstanding community member, and also as a business person, he participated also actively in the recent See Lawrence Festival, collaborating with the Downtown Association, and the mayor felt comfortable in nominating him to be presented before you. And I would like to, leave the chair as well if you have any questions to the council.
Yeah,
For the question, including himself.
If I may, Vice President, I think the overall census for the Personnel Committee was, usually we have the chair of the boards in support, or not. They still show up. They give their point of view. They give us a slight update of what the board is, we know what the LRA is doing, but, how the vacancy affects positively or negatively, things like that, as you know. So that was the missing component.
Yep.
But to Advisor Spanner's point, many of us do know Mr. Ramirez, so I felt like there wasn't a need to hold this when we could fill in the blanks at the full council.
We would be excited to have him join us and continue the work that we've been doing. There is a vacancy. He is a great candidate, a terrific candidate to fill that vacancy at this time.
Okay. What makes him a terrific candidate? And you're as the chair.
Well, he's invested in the city. He's made, this is where he makes his money. This is where he lives. This is where he will continue to contribute. So that's very important moving forward, as we all do on the LRA.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
Any other question from the council? Council, okay.
Thank you. So
Thank-
I'm not sure who to ask. I've heard that there is, that he is filling in a seat. Someone has left. Who has left the LRA to create the vacancy?
Sarah Perez resigned.
So he will, if appointed and confirmed by the council, he will complete the rest of Ms. Perez's term?
Yes.
When does the term expire?
I believe it's another year, but I can confirm that.
Yeah, that's important because what I've seen in the council over my years here is that there's been overlap of things and then there's confusion. People are saying, that's not my term, I have this term, and all of a sudden you've got this real challenge about whose term is who's filling out. And it's really important that when we get these, Mr. Spanner, and they come down to us, that we have the term and who they're replacing so that there's no confusion as to who's being
Yes, I
selected.
do believe that we have requested that information before the election, which we have a list that we can share with you. But to come here and, misinform, I don't want to do that. I believe it's a year that it's vacant. I mean, it's the term, the end of the term.
That he'd be filling.
That he will be filling, yes.
Sure. And just as we all know, when a term expires, an individual can serve until an appointment is done. So even though the term will expire a year from now, if confirmed this evening, Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Ramirez will continue on until either he gets reconfirmed or he leaves or whatever, so he can continue on for some time.
Yes, but through you, Madam Vice Chair, what we're trying to do is do it the correct way. So when a term expires, we'll come before you whether to reconfirm or if there's a new applicant or if there's a resignation.
Sure.
But we didn't want to, as I said before, we didn't want to make any decisions or present any candidates before you because it would have been, taking away any vision or plan in the event there was a new mayor. So the best option was to wait. We didn't want to have the same experience that we encountered previously.
And I respect that, and I appreciate that. And that is good government. So kudos to your approach on that issue. My question is to Mr. Ramirez specifically.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ramirez, so the LRA, I'm not sure how much of the LRA you've been following since you've been active in the city, but when I think of the LRA today, I think of two things. Actually, three things, but two things that are pertinent here. One is the tremendous amount of work that the LRA has put together to try to build and try to reestablish many of the empty parcels and parking lots and underutilized spaces in the city. That's one thing that I think of. And the second thing that I think of is the lawsuit that's before the city based on on the disagreement between the LRA and the city council with respect to a vote that was taken, I think in 2016, thank you, regarding that. So there is we are in a very potentially litigious place where there's a disagreement on the council's authority as it relates to the LRA and the administration's authority. And so I just wanted to get your sense on that issue.
We asked a similar question during
Yes, I was here last Tuesday and I heard about that.
Yeah.
And I replied to them that I think everything in life sometimes it's like that. We gotta get into conversations and take the best solution for the city. When I thought when Mr. Tevin was talking about me, he was kind of presenting me, but we had a conversation of what I want for this city, because I've been in the city for 10 years now, and I definitely want the best for the development of the Lawrence.
All right. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I didn't get a direct answer on that, and I can appreciate that.
If I may, a point of clarification, just if I may.
Councilor,
Sorry,
okay.
thank you. Sorry, Councilor LaPlante.
Councilor Park, can you accept that she do this?
Sorry, I just want to let you know for the Personnel Committee, the question that we asked was how would Mr. Ramirez handle political pressure coming from the administration and the city council be due to the uncertainty of the current situation until a decision is made. And he answered, I think, if you remember, you answered for that.
It was the same that you asked.
You could answer.
That you were
I think
appointing.
that's
That
where
is
you're getting
a
at,
lot of
maybe.
tension in
could be
between the
wrong.
city councils and the.
Well, my thought was a little different, to be honest with you. My thought was not necessarily, although I respect the questioning from the Personnel Committee, the point of my question wasn't whether or not there'd be undue influence on you. That wasn't the question. My question is, what is your position as it stands right now with the body that you want to be a part of that's got a lawsuit against the city, including this body? You are now want to be a part of that. Now, my question to you is, now that if you want to be a part of that, what are your feelings about that? Do you think that the LRA, do you think that the city council made the right decision and that our decision matters back in 2016? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Just a second.
So there's a lot of things he's not privy to because he's not on LRA yet. So I think that the potential for him to get up to speed, if confirmed by you, is there. But there's, he would just be having opinion based on not necessarily having the facts at this time.
But he could have an opinion.
Well,
He could
he's
still have an
certainly,
opinion.
the document is a public document.
Yeah, I gotta dig into the document. I gotta learn everything that has happened, and then I think I can put something into it. Like I can help to find the right decision that we have to make, and the solution in between the party involved, like the one that sue us, the city. I mean everything is I see life like that. We have situations, and we gotta find out a way to get through it.
Yeah. And I'm asking you a tough question, and I realize it because the appointing authority is here, and I understand the relationship, and so but these are the tough questions, and we had a very tough questions at ADU before. That wasn't easy. So we're constantly facing tough questions, and I want to see if you're able to rise to that level to be able to take the independent stand. You can agree, you can disagree, whatever it is, as long as it has the amount of thought given into it. I know the chair. I want to welcome the chair to our council. I know that that you're not privy to all the details, but oftentimes, as my colleague from District D mentions, you can have an opinion on that. Let me ask you a different question, but related. There is a propensity, there is a desire through the LRA today to really look at, and the documents are there, to show that they're looking to create literally thousands of units through multiple properties. I think the number's 13. And so it's a big spike, right? And so when you're on the LRA, you're going to have the option and the authority to look at proposals and say, yes, I think that's a great idea. I want to see more housing. I want to see more mixed development. I want to see more business. I want to see more commercial. You live in our city now. You've lived in our city now, you said, for 10 years?
Yeah.
So you lived here for 10 years. So you have a pretty good flavor about what we're facing. What are your thoughts about having more housing in our city?
I have two business here in Lawrence, and I'm thinking a little bit forward. I think you're talking about parking spot that we have some issues with.
Well, I mean, all those things are ancillary to answer your question. I want to know, you're going down the right path. I mean, when you have housing, you have parking. If you have housing, you need schools. If you have housing, you need snowplow and trash pickup and kids to go to school. When you have housing, you've got lots of needs. So my question to you is, when you're thinking of housing, is that something that you're looking at and trying to further when you're on the LRA? Any thoughts on that?
Maybe I can answer the way that I'm gonna talk a little bit about me. I'm an industrial engineer. What you need to do as an industrial engineer is like find the right solution for the process. You gotta evaluate everything, because maybe there can be like a big investor that want to put a lot of money in Lawrence, but maybe that investment can damage the society, the people that live in different houses. We gotta study the projects. If that project is good for the city, and we gotta make everybody understand that it's the right decision to take, then I think we're gonna have to move forward with any decision that can do well for the city.
Well, listen, you should be a city councilor because you didn't answer my question. You did a very good job. very good.
Another
I didn't
question
get much
that-
information, but it was very good. Whatever's best for the city is what I'm going to be voting for. But that's what we're all doing. That's what we all do. We all vote what's best for the city. But what I think is best for the city, my colleague earlier this evening made a mention. She said to my colleague from District D, who I love and respect, says, I love ADUs, right? And she explained why. And I'm thinking to myself, I hate ADUs. But she loves them because she loves the city. I hate them because I love the city. You know what I'm saying? So we can both come from a different place.
Because you have your point, and I
there we
heard
go.
it. You have your point. You were explaining your point, and they were explaining their position. That's the way life is. It's not like that. I want to do something and that needs to be done. I think that like that. And plus, in the society, you gotta take the decision that is better for the society, not just for one person. That's how I see the things.
Okay, I think I'm thank you.
You're
I
a
don't
little
wanna
bit
take any
tired.
more time. This is just a committee report. Wait till we start dealing on whether or not we should approve you. That's going to be a whole different discussion. But I guess did you ask to be a part of it? I mean, I think I heard this. Did you look at all the different things? This is where I want to go. I want to be on this. Or were you approached and said, I think this is a good spot. Have you thought about doing what was the approach on the LRA?
For like a few years ago, because like I told you, all of you, I've been part of Lawrence. I definitely want to be part of the decision maker of the city, because I want to live here for forever, and I want my business to succeed, and I want the other businesses to succeed, because I want the city to succeed. And then I think that thanks God, I'm not looking for like personal profit or nothing like that, because I think I have done so well, and then I'm trying to be part of the decision, like I say, because I think that I can. I'm gonna put my points, definitely leading to what I think is gonna be the best way to do it, the best way for the whole community. That's how I think.
Last question, thank you. Last question is this, and this is a harder question, if you can believe that. You're the owner of Attica. That's what I think it says on your.
And El Barrio Cantina too. Now,
Okay. I need to ask this question. Before the licensing board, has you or your organization come up for any kind of disciplinary actions before the licensing board?
yeah, I've been in front of the board. Yes.
Has there been a negative determination about your business?
Once, yes, yes. We can say yes. One of them, yeah.
I don't want to go into the nuts and just generally what was it? Was it overcrowding? Was it overserving? Was it a fire issue? What just generally what was it?
It's another thing. That's why I want to be part of the decision maker, because my understanding is something that is not that clear. Sometimes when you have the type of business that I have, there's some issues that can happen outside the premises after you end up your hours of operation, and sometimes it's not that clear what are the actions that needs to be taken to a business when something happens in the street after you close and after everybody's outside.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Ramirez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question for you. So I know that you are a businessman, that you had a couple of restaurants, that you wanted to be a decision maker in the city. But
Part of the decision maker.
Well, part of the decision maker. Okay. So, but who are you? Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I'm a human being that wants the best for not just for me, but for everybody. That's how I see myself. I don't look myself as I'm happy if the other one is doing bad and I'm doing well, and that's why I want to be part of the board. Well, I can add. I don't know if that is something that is worth it to say, but I'm an industrial engineer. I've been doing
What
business.
kind of engineer you are?
Industrial engineer.
Oh, industrial engineer. Okay.
I study, I think, in the toughest University of Dominican Republic. What else I can say?
For how long are you in the city of Lawrence?
For how long I've been here?
Yes.
More than 10 years. In September, it's going to be 10 years.
So did you came directly from Dominican Republic? to
Yeah, I
here?
came directly, yeah. I came because of an opportunity to buy the business. I didn't come here like for no other reason than to invest, if I can say that.
If I can ask the question, what you were doing at the Dominican Republic?
I have businesses over there.
Yes.
Few businesses. Mainly the gambling business. I have a lot of branches over there.
From where? From where?
Oh, it was all around the country. It was many branches, like 237.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks to you.
All right.
I think nobody else has questions. I actually just thought of a question, if I may, Council Vice President.
Okay. Councilor Infante?
I want to make sure any other colleagues that have not spoken. Okay, at the end, okay.
So no more question, no more discussion?
Yeah.
Yes,
But I
okay.
just want to, I don't want to go before.
Okay, Councilor Infante?
Okay. I just, can you refresh our memory, Chair Walker? How many members do we currently have on the LRA?
Currently, we have 4. This will make the 5th.
This will make the 5th, okay. And what are their professional backgrounds?
I'm an educator. Our treasurer is also in education. And then the other 2, they're businessmen in the city.
Okay. Thank you. I just, obviously with development,
Yeah.
we heard it earlier how our schools, like we just built 2 brand new schools.
We
And
did.
before they were even done, they were already at capacity. And I just want to make sure that the LRA board is diverse, that we are hearing different voices, not just the business owners, but, you know, all of these factors should be taken into
I think we're mirroring
consideration.
the
But you
same impetus. It's not good to have the same type of person, and we're definitely very diverse, and this
Yep,
would
so
also
thank you.
add to the diversity. And another voice, because having 5 people, you have to have 5 people that agree on these things. And I think adding another person would be good at this point. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank
I have a question for you, don't go away.
Okay.
So, do you have a more vacancy at the LRA
No.
committee? So
We're a 5-person board, correct? It's a 5-person
it's
board.
just only the 5 person, so.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
All right.
thank you. So we had a motion to accept as a committee report that was already second. Okay.
Sí, but I want to say thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ramirez, for deciding to Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
I have both.
I apologize for that.
He got both, last name.
First one.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
First one, yeah. First one is Rodriguez.
You know, thank you for your interesting to serving through this kind of committee, because I think it's really important to have a strong decision when we're talking about what is the project to moving forward to developing our city. We need to take in consideration what my colleague mentioned about, you know, I'm very passionate to be more developing affordable housing, but my colleague is not supporting on that too much. But I think it's really important to create a great component, because when we develop a new affordable housing or new commercial spot, we need to take in consideration too. We need more parking lot. We need more school around, because we need to take in what is the big project coming up. At the same time, what we need as a community. Así que I want to say thank you for your interest into serving through this committee.
Thanks to you.
I must
Council?
say now, Vice President.
Now, can I say? All right. So motion to approve? Just, it's already, okay, so we already have it as a committee report. It's already. So, okay, motion to accept the committee report? All in favor?
Aye.
So, any no? So there is a motion now to approve the confirmation for the appointment of Adonis Rodriguez. No?
No one has made the motion yet.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
You have to say discussion.
Discussion? No discussion?
Right here, just real quick, I took a lot of my time. I just want to know your approach after you get into the, it looks like you'll be confirmed this evening, as when you get into the LRA, what's your approach with the city council? I mean, there's a lot of cross-pollination between things that the LRA wants and the things that the city council may have a policy decision on. What's your approach on that as far as communication back and forth, whether it's with the chair or with yourself? Do you have any preferences? Are you open to that?
Oh, I'm a little bit confused with the question, but
Oh, sure.
how I'm gonna approach how?
Let me repeat, and I'm sorry, my question is this, is that there may be times that I might have a question, or maybe one of my colleagues may have a question, or want to talk to you about an issue that you're currently dealing with at the LRA. Are you open for that kind of conversation with, whether, I can only speak for myself, with me and perhaps others, to have a conversation about something that's before the board? Are you open to having that kind of conversation?
I ask you because it kind of the same answer for me. The same answer that I'm gonna tell you, and you were like a little bit confused with my answer. Definitely, because we need to talk about decisions that are gonna be made in the cities. I see the city as a group of people, a society that lives in here, and I cannot come here. I cannot get mad if you have a different point. If I think that something needs to be done, I gotta tell you what I have in my mind, what I have researched, and why I think that's the proper thing to do. You gotta tell me what you have in your mind, and then we're gonna have to have a conversation. And if it's something that is not good for the city, definitely I won't feel bad. I won't be mad. No, yeah. So I'm willing to have conversation with all of you. Thanks to you.
Any other question, Councilor? Or any other discussion? So the motion is already approved, already second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any no? Motion already approved. Thank you so much.
Thanks
And-
to all of you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Councilor Infante?
Oh, we have, I'm sorry?
Oh. So the next, okay, we don't have a more,
Old business.
okay, can you, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. So there is no public safety report, there is no economic development report, there is no committee of the whole report, so all business. So item 47925 is the appropriation of funds of 1 million for the schematic design phase. I request a motion to reaffirm the item 47925 with a specific language that is requested by the state. Councilor Infante?
Thank you. As the Vice Chair mentioned, we received communication from the Massachusetts School Building Authority requesting that we reaffirm or revote on this item in 3 parts, and they provided specific language that we must read into the record when we take this vote. So that's what we'll be doing right now. As Vice President mentioned, she's looking for a vote to reaffirm Our vote, so I'm making that as a formal motion to the council.
So, all those in favor? Discussion?
No, there's like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, so the
discussion.
language is gonna
The
be-
discussion. There are steps, and I'm gonna get into that, yeah. First, we have to open it up for me to continue with what I have here. So,
Are you ready to make the motion?
no, I made the motion,
Okay,
Councilor
and you
Reyes
sec- and you
seconded.
second, yes. I ask for any discussion. Okay. So, Councilor Infante, can you proceed?
All those in favor? All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye. Councilors, now I am looking I am going to make a motion, I'm going to make a motion to split document 47925 into 3 parts. Specifically, these 3 parts are as followed. Number 1 is document number 479A25, which is for the appropriation of $400,000 from free cash for the purpose of paying feasibility, study, and schematic design costs related to a potential accelerated repair project involving the Arlington School Window Project, which is approximately 800 windows at 150 Arlington Street in Lawrence, Massachusetts.
So just
This-
remember that this is for reaffirming the vote.
So this is to split it into 3. The second document is document 479B-25, and this pertains to the appropriation of $300,000 from free cash for the purpose of paying feasibility study and schematic design costs related to the potential accelerated repair project involving the Frost School roof replacement at 133 Hamlin Street, Lawrence, Mass., which is approximately $4 million. And then the third part would be document 479C-25, and that pertains to the appropriation of $300,000 from free cash for the purpose of paying feasibility study and schematic design costs related to the potential accelerated repair project involving the South Lawrence East roof replacement located at 135 Crawford Street in Lawrence, Massachusetts. And that is the formal language. This is to split the item into 3 parts.
Second?
Who was the second?
It's already second. Okay. So we have, okay,
Discussion.
discussion.
Good evening, councilors. Jason Cabrera, Chief Financial Officer for Lawrence Public Schools. We were here on January 20th, and the vote was voted on the positive for the allocation of, originally it was $2 million. We came back to $1 million from free cash. The vote was taken. It was certified by the city clerk. It was sent over to the MSBA. Their attorneys sent back the language that you see in front of. I'm hoping that you have it, but if you don't, I got some copies. But the votes that are here in 3 parts. My understanding, Councilor Infante, is that the language, the whole language needs to be read into the record. You went up to the what it cost, just for the sake of satisfying that. I don't know if in the vote is gonna have the whole vote language, the whole,
Yes.
from
I have
beginning
it.
to end.
Yep, we have to read all of it.
If
into
we
the
can
record.
read that into the record so that we can meet the requirements by the MSBA and their legal team.
Yes, it's going to be read one by one, yes.
I do, but.
Councilor Infante?
I'm sorry. We have to go back before we, through you, Vice President, to make a motion to suspend Rule 11. per Rule 11, I need to make a motion, I make a motion to suspend Rule 20 that specifically allows us to take this vote into dividing this item into three parts.
So there is a motion to suspend Rule 11 and make a motion to suspend Rule
Second.
20.
We need 6 votes for this.
We have it.
No, Counselor Marmo is not here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah, we
miscounted.
have
I
it.
miscounted. Sorry.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
Discussion? So the ayes have it.
Thank you. And now, we need to call the motion to split.
So now,
I mean, call the vote.
so the motion is to reaffirm again. Item, to reaffirm again item 479 and to be split in three parts according to the language that is being requested by the state.
Which we just stated. So Council Vice President, I just made a motion to allow the council to split it into three. We now need to call the vote allowing that, and then we need to go into the separate motions for each item.
Okay. So there is a motion now is to allow to split the item in three parts and to be read. So we have motion 479-25.
Council Vice President, the motion is already made. We need to take the vote now to allow it, so then I can proceed with the individual motions.
So motion to approve?
Yep, call the vote, please. All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Discussion? No?
Madam Chair, I would recommend that we ask for discussion before taking the final vote going forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So any discussion? No, there is no discussion at this moment. So, Councilor Infante?
No, just call the vote. Call the vote.
The vote, how many?
No, we need to finish the voting in order to divide it into three. We need to finish the vote. Madam Vice President, please call the vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So, any discussion on this item? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, so
The
what
ayes
is
have
the vote? The unanimous? Everybody? Okay.
Thank you. Madam Vice President, I would like to make a motion to approve document number 479A-25 with a specific language brought to us by the Massachusetts School Building Authority that states, a motion to approve that the City of Lawrence, Mass. Hereby appropriates the amount of $400,000 for the purpose of paying feasibility study and schematic design costs related to a potential accelerated repair project involving the Arlington School Window Project, which is approximately 800 windows at 150 Arlington Street in Lawrence, Mass., including the payment of all costs incidental or related thereto the project, which proposed repair project will materially expand the useful life of the school and preserve an asset that otherwise is capable of supporting the required educational program, and for which the City of Lawrence, Mass. has applied for a grant from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, known as the MSBA, said amount to be expanded under the direction of Lawrence Public Schools receiver. To meet this appropriation, the City of Lawrence's Chief Administrative and Finance Officer, with the approval of the City of Lawrence City Council, is authorized to appropriate from the City of Lawrence free cash amount, said amount under the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, or any other enabling authority. The City of Lawrence acknowledges that the MSBA's grant program is a non-entitlement discretionary program based on need as determined by the MSBA, and if the MSBA's Board of Directors votes to invite the City of Lawrence to collaborate with the MSBA on this proposed repair project, any project cost, the City of Lawrence, Mass. Incurs in excess of any grant that may be approved by and received from the MSBA shall be the sole responsibility of the City of Lawrence, Mass. That is the motion.
All those in favor? Discussion?
No discussion.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
So, any none? The ayes have it.
Madam
So-
Vice President, I would like to make a motion to approve item 479B-25 with the following specific language from the MSBA. The City of Lawrence, Mass. hereby appropriates the amount of $300,000 from the purpose of paying feasibility study and schematic design costs related to the potential accelerated repair project involving the Frost School roof replacement located at 133 Hamlet Street, Lawrence, Mass. Including the payment of all costs incidental or related thereto the project, which proposed repair project would materially extend the useful life of the school and preserve an asset that otherwise is capable of supporting the required educational program, and for which the City of Lawrence has applied for a grant from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, known as the MSBA. Said amount to be expended under the direction of the Lawrence Public Schools receiver. To meet this appropriation, the City of Lawrence's Chief Administrative and Finance Officer, with the approval of the City of Lawrence City Council, is authorized to appropriate from the City of Lawrence's free cash account said amount under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, or any other enabling authority. The City of Lawrence acknowledges that the MSBA's grant program is a non-entitlement discretionary program based on need as determined by the MSBA, and if the MSBA's Board of Directors votes to invite the City of Lawrence to collaborate with the MSBA on this proposed repair project, any project costs the City of Lawrence incurs in excess of any grant that may be approved by and received from the MSBA shall be the sole responsibility of the City of Lawrence, Massachusetts.
So there is a motion to
Second.
approve document 479B-25. All those in favor?
Discussion.
Yes, we can ask for discussion.
I want to hear if my colleagues had anything they had to say on this document before we actually have a vote on it. Thank you. I guess not.
Any discussion? There is no, do you have any comment or discussion?
No, I'm set, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So no comment, no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
So the ayes have it, any no?
Council Vice President, I have one last motion to make, and that is to approve item 479C-25 with the specific language as follows.
So
That the City of Lawrence, Mass. hereby appropriates the amount of $300,000, imagine, $300,000 for the purpose of paying feasibility study and schematic design costs related to the potential accelerated project involving the South Lawrence East roof replacement at 135 Crawford Street, Lawrence, Massachusetts, including the payment of all costs incidental or related to the project, which proposed repair project would materially extend the useful life of the school and preserve an asset that otherwise is capable of supporting the required educational program, and for which the City of Lawrence, Mass. has applied for a grant from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, known as the MSBA, said amount to be expended under the discretion of Lawrence Public Schools receiver. To meet this appropriation, the City of Lawrence's Chief Administrative and Finance Officer, with the approval of the City the City of Lawrence's City Council is authorized to appropriate from the City of Lawrence's free cash amount, said amount under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, or any other enabling authority. The City of Lawrence, Mass. Acknowledges that the MSBA's grant program is a non-entitlement discretionary program based on need as determined by the MSBA. And if the MSBA's Board of Directors votes to invite the City of Lawrence to collaborate with the MSBA on this proposed repair project, any project costs the City of Lawrence, Mass. Incurs in excess of any grant that may be approved by and received from the MSBA shall be the sole responsibility of the City of Lawrence, Massachusetts.
So there is item 479C, 25, already second for Council Reyes. So discussion.
Discussion.
Okay, Council.
Quick question. I know we have LPS's CFO, we have the superintendent, we have a representative from DESI. Before we make the final vote, after this, we comply with what the MSBA is looking for.
That is correct. We're on target, on time to submit the paperwork that needs to be submitted. We need a certified vote by March 3rd, so this is part of that, which we had done, prior, but this is the official one that is going to go to them, and this should be it for us to start the schematics and getting that going.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything and that we're right on track. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Okay, thank you. So it's already approved. Thank you.
No, any other discussion? Questions?
Okay.
No.
Any other discussion? Council? Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So the ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Good evening. So, Council, any item from the table, madam, that you would like to take it out? There is no, any, we had another item? Ah. Okay. 48125.
And 2426 from what I was told.
Okay. So from the old business, we have item 48125 is the authorization to spend.
We have to untable, it, but confirming 48125 and 2426.
I'm sorry. So we have to take an item from the old business, 48125 is the authorization to spend $408,474. This is the MassDOT grant by Danny McCarthy, Planning Director. Hi, good evening again. Master McCarthy is over here.
Madam Chair, may I ask what the underlying motion is?
The motion is to approve. We approve item 48125.
That's what's before us right now. There was already a motion to approve before us right now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. McCarthy?
Good evening, everybody. Dan McCarthy here. I'm homesick. We were asked, I came before the Budget and Finance Committee several weeks ago, a couple of months ago, to present the document. We had a second grant that was also approved that was directly related to the freight rail that serves the city's industrial park. This is part of a 6-year project that the city's been working on. We've been putting together funding for this, and we were asked to prepare a PowerPoint presentation to show the council how we've the work we've completed and the work that's proposed, and the reason why we're asking for these funds to be authorized. The other document is also on the agenda as old business, is document 02426. which is authorization to expend 1.649 million. I think we can address the first one right now. I know Lily Reyes is there in person, I think, to present the PowerPoint presentation. Lily?
Hi. Good evening, councilors. How are you? Ilialis Reyes, 360 Merrimack Street. Yes, I'm here, Dan. Hi. Hi. Okay, I'm going to try my best to speed through this because, it's pretty late in the evening. So,
I need,
Yes.
Council Vice President, speeding through it is nice, but this is a major project and it's in my district, so I want to make sure that the council gets, we have
The
two
meeting?
new members and one kind of new still, not as new, but some other councilors understand or not have been involved in this in the past, and I just want to make sure that the council understands the importance of approving this. Thank you.
very fair, Councilor Infante. Thank you. So, the first grant that we received, IRAP. IRAP stands for Industrial Rail Access Program. This grant was awarded back in 2021, and it was specifically to fix where you see the blue line and the red and the South Broadway, increase the freight rail or upgrade the freight rail line in that section. The total cost at the time was $500,000, and the city's match was $19,000. We were very lucky because we received the donations. A lot of the materials were donated by MBTA, and so that was supplemented or added as the cost of the match. So I'm not sure if you guys remember the work being done at the time. So we were grateful for that. So that shows the circle. Where do we point? Let's see. Over here, let's see. Oh, it doesn't let me? Okay. It's pretty slow, maybe the batteries. But where the circles are, that's where the original project was done, and now the goal is to do work down by Glen and Beacon Street. The pointer is not really working, so it doesn't stay, yeah. So I think I could just go to the next one. So this is what it looked like. This is part of the corridor, what it looked like before we got the grant funding and what it looks like after. So this is visual evidence of the project back in 2021 when we were awarded, and the project was completed, I believe it was July 2023, around there. Sure. Absolutely.
The bottom picture is supposed to be the after as
Yes.
that's the after?
Yes.
Why do they keep?
I'm not
There's a
sure.
presentation.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
It's back again.
But if I may, if you could go back to the photo, if I may, Council Vice President. I know you don't really see the difference. It doesn't look much as
I can
a
see from
difference,
the
but
top at the bottom.
you can see here, the logs have been
Replacing?
Oh, sorry.
they're wireless now. I forgot. But here, the before, you can see the wooden panels here. They were deteriorating. It doesn't look like much, but also in order for the freight to be functional, it doesn't require as much. It may not look as much, but you see the panels here are now looking like how they're supposed to, and they can get through safer in that section of the area. Is that helpful?
Thank you, Councilor
You
Infante.
can see it on the first one.
Yeah, and then the first one, you can see that, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't question it, but yeah, I could not tell the difference between the bottom ones.
So maybe you can see a little bit here to the left or to the right. You see more of the more of the groves, and to the left you can't see it. And so this is another visible difference in the upgrade of the freight rail line. So this is the project. This is a separate project, as Mr. McCarthy mentioned. This project, Section 130, we refer to it as Chapter 130 or Section 130 is interchangeable. This funding comes specifically from Federal Highway Administration, and the funding is funneled through Mass DOT, and then Mass DOT provides the funding to us. And that's the amount we're here asking to expend today for $1,649,561. This funding goes specifically to remove the freight rail lines you see there. The pointer's not working. But I know Councilor Infante has been at this site. We have Oliver here from DBW who has been at this site. And I don't want to make assumptions, but maybe Councilor LaPlante is familiar with this location as well. And so the plan is to move or to narrow the street and move the tracks from the middle of the street so that it's safer for vehicles and pedestrians and for the actual freight rail itself. So that's the plan for construction in this site over at Glen and Beacon Street. So right now, to my understanding, it's gonna narrow from 38 feet to 24 feet. And we will show you the plans now. So the city's working with engineers, and these are the plans for that particular intersection. On the left, on the bottom, that's where Glen and Beacon is. That's where the freight line is right now. And to the right, you will see what it'll look like after. If you have any questions on that, I will try my best to answer, or Dan, or we have an engineer here as well.
Had an additional comment to your presentation, if I may, Council Vice President. Can we go back to the photo, please? Can we go back to the photo, please? Thank you. So here, colleagues, as Lily mentioned, this intersection down here of Glen Street with Beacon Street, as you know, back in 2022, we had a meeting with the business owners there, Councilor LaPlante, the Councilor at Larges, our Congresswoman's office, and our state delegation. That area currently it's dangerous. There's no markings for pedestrians. Accidents happen all the time. Not only is this project going to move the freight line to a safer position, by the way, I believe we are the only city left in the country that still has a middle freight, middle street freight. But they're also going to add the markings, and they're going to fix that sidewalk intersection as well for the pedestrians. I also want to add that there has been minor repairs to this this freight, but it was paid for by one of the businesses within the industrial park, and that was a cost to the business that was $50,000 plus, and they did that in good faith, obviously, because one, it affects their business, and two, it's hazardous. At the time, they were the primary business that was benefiting from this, but now, as we've been discussing over the last 5 years or more, as Councilor LaPlante knows, because he's been part of this longer than I have, now, after construction, if approved, after construction is fully completed, this is actually going to open the doors for other businesses within the industrial park to take advantage of this service and hopefully better streamline their services for their customers as well, not just this one particular business in that area.
If I can add to that, Councilor Infante, so that one company is not the only company benefiting from freight rail. We also have Muffintown, who benefits from freight rail, even though they're not located specifically in the industrial park. They do benefit and have been able to increase their business and increase the economic development of our city because of freight rail. And there are other locations and businesses in the city that want to expand on freight rail, and I believe we have that in the presentation as well.
I'm sorry, I assumed that was the end of it.
No,
Sorry.
we have a couple
It
more
keeps taking
slides.
off the presentation.
So that's basically what I just mentioned now. The 1.65 is for Section 130. That's what covers funding from federal highway. And then the IRAP, the Industrial Rail Access Program grant, it's covered through Mass DOT. So we did receive, that's the item that I believe you counselors untabled, the 408. What, I'm trying to.
481.
481. So maybe there's just a.
408, no, it's 408.
Okay. And so we're, the goal is to use funding for the IRAP close to the Whittemore Company, and we do have someone from Whittemore Company, and like Councilor Infante said, they have in good faith taken money from their own pocket to fix the freight rail line to help with their, the movement and shipment of their business. The goal now is to create a runaround in this section so that there's more safety involved when they receive their shipments, because currently right now the freight rails are being backed into the street and into their business. And so to avoid that, the engineers have been working together to develop this plan to create a runaround so that the train doesn't back into the business. And this is where I was mentioning earlier, there are potential future projects. So we have the Lawrence Municipal Airport. There are some businesses in the airport that are looking to expand rail. We have Muffintown that is an existing freight rail user. We have Helfrich Brothers who have for several years expressed interest in expanding or using freight rail. And so this is something that is very important for our city, considering that, I think that's the last page. Okay, but I'll just give a quick fun fact that in 2022, it would have taken 755,000 trucks to move what freight rail moved in Massachusetts. So just keep that in mind when thinking about freight rail. Any questions, councilors?
So are you done with the presentation?
Pardon?
Are you done with the presentation?
Yes, Councilor.
Councilor, there is any question, any discussion on this item?
I have one comment.
So,
May I have my
Councilor,
comments?
Councilor Infante.
Thank you. I said this prior during the budget, I think it was the Budget and Finance Committee, or perhaps it was the full council, I don't remember. But thank you to Director McCarthy for your work and team for the work on this. But I really also want to say thank you to Whitmore Company for holding it down as much as they can throughout these years. I think there was an assumption, at least I know I definitely had it when I first became a counselor, that freight trail is publicly owned. It is not. It is privately owned, and it's been through two different ownership. So that also prolonged trying to get everybody at the table and getting everyone to agree on things. That prolonged the process a little bit. But now we are here, and thank you to everyone, and especially the counselors before that worked on this before I became a counselor to get this moving. It's been a long journey, and we're finally here, and I'm happy to see it.
Councilor? So there is a motion to approve this item?
Motion to approve item 481-25.
So item is already approved, already second. Discussion? Todos en favor?
Aye.
So the ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Councilor Infante. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have item on the old business 726. Is the approval of the tax in Yes, but, so item 726, and is the approval of the tax increment? So the last one. Okay, item 2426 is the authorization to spend $1,649,561 is from Charlotte 130 FHWA, that also is for the Rearway Highway Crossing Grant from MassDOT by Danny McCarthy. Hi.
So this is the second part to the presentation that you just saw. The chapter 130 section, was that part of the rail line that goes through Glen Street and Beacon Street? And because it's
Madam Chair,
considered
may I interrupt this conversation? I believe this needs to be discharged out of committee. As I'm reading the notes, it's an old business. It says bring up the full council for discussion and voting. There had no quorum on the night that it was done because a couple of the
That's
councilors had to leave. So I believe we need to make a motion to discharge, to take it out of committee and bring it before us.
Okay, so the item 2426,
Correct.
just to bring out of the committee. And we have to suspend rule.
So what do we need, motion to suspend the
Motion to-
rules?
You don't need to suspend. You can just make a motion to discharge out of committee.
Okay, so motion to suspend item 2426 out of the committee. It's already second by Council Marmor. All those in favor?
Who made the motion?
Councilor LaPlante.
Council LaPlante.
I did? Okay.
You said motion to
Yeah, you're saying the motion to suspend the rule.
I was just suggesting what needed to be done, but okay, that's fine. I'll make the motion. That's
No,
fine.
you can withdraw your motion.
That's fine. I'm okay. I just want to get home tonight, so I'll make the motion. Here we go. Yeah.
Same.
It's already second. Discussion. Mr. McCarthy?
Take a vote.
Yeah.
Take the vote. All in
All those
favor?
in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any none? So,
Now you go.
yeah. Mr. McCarthy?
yes, so I'll continue on. So
I think we
So
need to make
this-
a motion right now to either adopt or approve or some sort of a motion at this point.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So motion already for approve, already second. All those in discussion?
Discussion. Now he goes.
And let's, Mr. McCarthy, please continue.
I have nothing further to add. I think you saw the importance of it. I think you saw the conditions of the existing rail, the danger of the community, and how this project is going to bring a lot of safety to this neighborhood and a lot of economic vitality to this industrial park. So that's my request, is that this matter be approved, and we are authorized to expend these funds. Thank you.
Councilor, any question or discussion on this item? So I don't hear anything, so there is a motion to approve. Already second, all those in favor?
Aye.
So any no? The ayes have it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McCarthy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. No, still we have quorum. Thank you, Mr. McCarthy. Okay, any table items that you would like to get out of that for discussion? There is none, so new business. So we have item 4626, authorization to spend $1,300,000 for mass water infrastructure grants from the Executive Office of Economic Development by Mr. Doug McCarthy, Budget and Finance. 4726, authorization to spend $110,000 Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, MVP, grant from the Executive Office of the Energy and Environmental Affairs by Danny McCarthy to Budget and Finance. Item 4826, creation of billing analyst position, Water Department, by Carol Garcia, Personnel Director, to Ordinance and Personnel. Creation of the Second Assistant Police Department, also to Ordinance and Personnel. Item 5026, O'Neill Park Eastern Egg Hunt, April 4, 2026, by Jose Dávila, Instituto Cultural de Puerto Rico, to Ordinance. Campanon, item 5126, the Campanon Common Semana Hispana Festival, July 31st, 2026, August 1 and 2nd, 2026, from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. By Herminude Lopez, Semana Hispana to Ordinance. Campanon, item 5226, Campanon Common Semana Hispana, July 30 to July 31, 2026. August 1st, August 2nd, 2026, from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Fiesta Show by Herminude Lopez, Semana Hispana. Ordinance Committee, Campanon Park, Semana Hispana. Item 5326, Campanon Commons, Semana Hispana, Carnival Fundraising, June 18 and June 19, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. June 20 and June 21, from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Fiesta Show en Herminude Lopez, Semana Hispana. Ordinance Committee. Item 5426, Campanon Common Earth Day, citywide cleanup, April 25, 2026, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. by Isaac Grullon, Grand Ward Lawrence, Ordinance Committee. Item 5526, one-way cross street from Manchester Street to Broadway, Council Gregory del Rosario and Pablo Peralta, Ordinance Committee. Item 5626, Child Care Parking, 8 Henlow Street, Councilor Serena Reyes and Elsa Guzman, Ordinance Committee. Item 5726, remove handicap parking at 4850 Juniper Street, Councilor Gregory del Rosario and Ayanara Hernández Guzmán, Ordinance Committee. Item 5826, handicap parking, 18 Ames Street, Gladys V. Mateo de Marizan, Ordinance Committee. Item 5926, handicap parking, 186 Baldwin Street, Councilor Serena Reyes and Councilor Stephanie Infante, Ordinance Committee. So, day for the different committees, Councilor. Ordinance Committee.
Motion past 10, even though I don't know.
It's a motion.
We're still in the meeting.
It's a motion to pass 10. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Ordinances first.
Ordinance? Huh?
The ordinance change the date or change the time?
Tuesday.
You have to say it. You have to say it.
Tuesday at 7. So budget and finance,
Budget and finance. Hold on a second. I know we usually do it Wednesdays, but just give me 1 second. Actually, yeah. Wednesday at 7.
so Wednesday at 7, that is for order and finance. Personnel.
Wednesday at 6.
So public safety,
We don't have any new items, but there are items on the agenda that we were waiting for updates. So I would like to schedule a meeting just to see if there are any updates. If not, we could always reschedule. Sorry, I have to like jot down budget. So budget is Wednesday, and so is personnel. I'm gonna do Thursday. Does 6 o'clock work for the other counselors? Thursday at
So-
6?
Thursday at 6.
It's not working for me on Thursday because I have a class on Thursday and Friday, but I can figure it out.
What about Tuesday before ordinance? Do you have?
Okay, I just sometimes, I
I
have to be
know.
rushing.
I know.
What time is ordinance? At 7?
At 7.
I mean, I'll do Tuesday at 6 then. Tuesday at 6. if that
Housing
works.
committee,
Housing, I don't believe we have anything in housing.
no, there is nothing
but-
for housing right now.
Say that again? We do? Okay, leave that one by itself Thursday at 6. Because that's always,
Did I miss any committee? Economic development, there is no item for that. Are we done with all the committee?
Yeah. Yeah, motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.